Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. It's Anish, and today we're going to be talking about the Texans offensive line post draft. And yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. So let's go ahead and get started. So first off, I'm just gonna preface this by saying, the coach upgrade from going from Mike Devlin to James Campen is going to be probably the most obvious difference you're going to see. Like from our O lines from last season to this upcoming season, just because Mike Devlin is actually just a terrible coach and really held back like guys, a lot of our rookies on our team and young guys on our team, where we had Laramie Tunsil being the main coach for that group. So I think that's going to be like the biggest change for this team and kind of the one of the reasons why this offensive line group will be pretty I think above average is a pretty reasonable estimate of where they'll land on like compared to other teams in the league. But let's start off by talking about Laramie Tunsil. This past season he did very well compared to his first season here. He only had 6 penalties and 2 sacks allowed, and in 2020 and in 2019 he had 18 penalties and 3 sacks allowed. So he really improved on reducing the penalties, all those false starts. That decreased dramatically, and that's really nice to see. And that's only going to decrease as the years goes on. I can just imagine just like having a new system to learn very quickly, what was pretty hard for him, and so it took time to adjust. And he's only 26 years old, so the sky's the limit for Laramie Tunsil. And so yeah, so overall for the line in 2020, we allowed a 8.39% sack percentage, which was 30th in the league, and that was an improvement from 2019 with a 9.08 percentage. So I mean, we are improving slowly but steadily. And yeah, some people do attribute a good number of the sacks we took last year. We had 50 sacks taken last year, and some people attribute that to Deshaun Watson holding on to the ball too long, trying to make a play. And I think he accounts for at least 10 of those sacks, I think. Um, yeah, I think at least 10 of those 50 sacks could be attributed to Deshaun Watson holding on to the ball, but other times it pays off, so you can't really fault him for doing that too much. But in 2019, we had 49 sacks, so there wasn't any really improvement in the sacks taken. But it was an improvement in 60 from 2018, where we allowed 62 sacks, and then after that 2018 season, we made that infamous Tunsil trade. And if you want to know my thoughts on the Tunsil trade, I think although it was overpay, we still got a top three left tackle, arguably among guys like Ronnie Stanley, Joe Staley, Ryan Ramczyk. I think Tunsil is just right up there, and so if you get a top three left tackle, one of the most important positions in the game, that's very important to solidify your O line for the future. And yes, like who knows what we would have drafted. In hindsight, yes, we could have gotten the third overall pick, but who knows if we drafted a guy of Laramie Tunsil's caliber, and we would have to draft a left tackle in the future anyways. And there were some obvious misses that we've had, where we missed out on drafting Orlando Brown in one of our drafts, so that was kind of a miss. Just the whole handling of the Dwayne Brown situation was terrible as well. A lot of things could have been fixed in hindsight, but now we just had to move on and just, I guess, move on with Tunsil, and he's very good, very athletic, still very young. So, like I said, the sky's the limit. And so on the other side, you have Titus Howard, who allowed 2 sacks and had 11 penalties. He played 14 games this season. He was injured for 2. So he was solid again as a right tackle. I think arguably looking back on it, he was the best tackle taken in that draft. A lot of people liked Andre Dillard, but it turns out that Titus Howard was the better one out of over Dillard. So I think Titus is going to take that next jump and become a top. He could, like a bold prediction that we have is that Titus Howard could be like a top 10 right tackle in this league, or even maybe higher. Who knows? Because um, we're gonna have a pretty top tier tackle duo this next season. And the whole transition, like Titus coming out of college, he was a left tackle. Transitioning his whole game to right tackle is pretty difficult, harder than we think it is. So I think Tyus Howard, with better coaching and better offensive line teammates around him, our whole line basically upgraded. So Tyus Howard is you're gonna see Tyus Howard take that jump from year two to year three, and so. Yeah, so I really love I have a lot of high hopes on Tyus Howard. I think he's gonna ball out actually. So I think so yeah, our O line is gonna be pretty above average, at least top 16 in the league. It can be top 10 ish, but we'll get to that. But yeah, so yeah, that's Tyus Howard and just our backup tackles. We have Charlie Heck who played in the Titans game. He was solid in some parts. He did pretty good as a rookie. He did have some glaring mistakes, but those can easily be corrected. And he did solid as a rookie. And then Roderick Johnson, who's our swing tackle, very reliable. Um, Glad we still have him on our team. And yeah, let's talk about our left guard spot. I think this one is the one that's most up for grabs. You have Max Sharping currently slated there as our starting left guard, but I think Lane Taylor can really make Max Sharping a run for his money. Lane Taylor, he did tear his ACL, so that is an issue. Like whether his health is 100% or not. And then Max Sharping, he didn't have the greatest season compared to his rookie season. He was just like last year, he was like slow. He couldn't really hold his own blocks well. And so, yeah, it was not the Max Sharping we saw in his rookie season. And Lane Taylor, he's very, very solid in Green Bay. He was very good for them. So I think it could be a competition between the two. I think Max Sharping might just gets the start because Lane Taylor is coming back from ACL, and it was probably best to really play your younger guys more. But they say it's an open competition, so who knows what happens there. So yeah, that's with the left guard situation. And then right guard, we have Marcus Cannon. So obviously Marcus Cannon is moving from right tackle to right guard. He did play multiple positions on that Patriots O line, but primarily right tackle. And he did say in a press conference that he wanted to play right tackle, but I think he'll be fine at right guard. And he does bring that veteran leadership and champion experience for the young guys. And the trade for him wasn't that bad. We just had pick swaps with the Patriots, so it wasn't too bad. We didn't give up too much for him. So Cannon is going to be solid for us. He is a year removed, so that could present some issues, but year removed from playing, so he could be fine. But yeah, just had to see from there. But I think he'll be solid at right guard, a whole better upgrade than Zach Fulton for sure. So yeah, he's going to be a huge plus for our O line. And then you have Justin Britt, who's our center. He's obviously an upgrade over Nick Martin, and he's going to be on a reasonable deal as well. And again, like Marcus Cannon, Justin Britt hasn't played in a year, so that could be concerning. But generally, Justin Britt, he doesn't allow too many sacks or penalties, but he did have a guy like Russell Wilson in the helm. So a guy with that kind of mobility. Obviously, Tyrod Taylor doesn't have that same kind of mobility that Russell Wilson has, but it does show that he has experience with mobile quarterbacks. So that's going to be a huge plus, like experience wise. So I think our O line is really, really solid. I mean, I did throw out some hot takes there, but I think those are achievable. Like it's nothing out of the realm of the ordinary by any means. So yeah, I really like our group right now, and it's kind of funny. The moment we get a solid offensive line, our quarterback situation is really up in the air. But it is what it is, and we just have to move forward and really hope that our development of our quarterbacks goes well. And so, in some other notes, we did sign the undrafted Aggie linemen Ryan McCullum and Carson Green, and we cut Cole Cabral. And Ryan McCullum and Carson Green, they're pretty nice gems to find in the undrafted free agency. Carson Green was projected to go in like the 6th or 7th round, but Ryan McCullum was projected to be undrafted. But those are really solid pickups by us. The Aggie line was really good in college football. So yeah, it's pretty nice to get both of them. And they're going to have that chemistry too, and they're going to be solid depth pieces for us. And some other guys that we have, we also signed Garon Christian Sr., who is a recent pickup. He was from the Washington football team. And you have Cole Toner, who's depth under the center. And so, yeah, a lot of new faces on this O-line for sure. And it's going to be exciting to see what James Campen goes from here. does with this group. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Let us know your predictions for this offensive line. What do you think about this group? And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Thank you all for watching. Peace.